I have almost all cameras on. Let's see. Oh, there's my boy Richie. Oh, pressure's on. Oh man, Michael Hill's here. What's up, Brian? Veronica? Oh, Jonas? Dude, come on. What's up, brother?
How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to go. Thanks for being on
They
here. I
told
appreciate that.
they told me you were here. I had to be here.
Come on. All right. Well, let me get going here. I'm one where I'm not that great of a speaker when I just fly by the seat of my pants. So I'm like super prepared. I've got a little slideshow. We're going to go through it. It should only take about 15, 20 minutes. I've got 3 to 4 very important topics that we're going to talk about, and then I'll leave it open for some Q&A at the end. Does that work for everybody? Awesome. And if you do have a question, just drop it into the chat, and Rebecca's going to be monitoring it, and we'll go from there, okay? All right. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. 10 loans a month without a loan partner. It's fun. It's fun. I say that sarcastically, but at the same time, I've actually come to really enjoy it. I've built a really good process and a really good system to where I feel super confident in being able to manage a lot of leads and a lot of closings without feeling stressed. And so my goal here is to hopefully give you guys something of value where you can believe it. If you can produce a system that works for you, that you too can copy my style and you can get there without needing a loan partner. Okay. So 10 loans a month is built by mindset. It's managed by calendar and it's protected by the powerful word of no. So what we're going to be talking about is mindset. Production is a decision. We're going to be talking about time management, how we can protect the money hours. We're going to be talking about following the calendar like it's the law, the power of saying no, and then we'll do a little wrap up at the end. Good so far? All right, let's rock and roll. Mindset. Production is a decision. That's all it is, you guys. I think a lot of people overthink it. And so for me, what I do to prepare myself is I fill my mind with purpose, not excuses, right? So I'm a glass is half full, not a glass is half empty. So every single morning when I come in, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what my agenda looks like. I know exactly what my calendar looks like. So I have full purpose all day. Okay, I'm in full control, which gives me what? A super peace about what I'm going to do every single day. I do not say I don't have a loan partner. That is an excuse. It's not a handicap to not have a loan partner. Now, ironically, this month, 2 years ago, my loan partner left me and said, you know what? I just can't handle it. I got to go to another industry. And I said, okay, cool. And I'll tell you guys, I definitely had a little bit of doubt. You know, we were doing some big numbers. We were averaging about 50 plus leads a month. And I was like, man, how am I going to do it? And I immediately thought I got to just react and I need to hire. I need to hire. I need to hire. Right. And we went kind of through that hiring vetting process. And in the end, I was like, nothing's really fitting. I don't like what I'm seeing. And I'm like, what if I change my mentality? What if I tell myself that I don't need to have a loan partner, that I can do it myself? And the second that I took that ownership and the second that I started to think like a $30 million producer, that's when it changed for me. So ownership is everything. So James Clear goes on to say, the most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. So your language matters, you guys. Saying things like I'm too busy really just means that you're not prioritizing that, right? And what I do is I also model the top producers. I love being around people that are doing it better than I am. I always want to know, what do they believe about time? What do they believe about people? What do they believe about production? Because I've never met a top producer who didn't believe they'd be one first. Whoop, where was I? All right, mindset tactical tips. Every morning, I start off as soon as I wake up with some devotional or God time. You guys can choose what you need to do. It could be stretching, it could be going for a walk, whatever you guys need to do, but it's never work first, ever. Okay, we'll go into some other things about my phone as well. When I get into work, If you guys don't have this journal, you see me? Because I can't see myself anymore, but Jonas, give me a thumbs up if you can see me. Thanks, buddy. So 5-minute gratitude journal. This is what I do every single morning once I get into the office, okay? I also do not answer phone calls. I don't look at emails. I don't respond to text messages. Nothing happens until I finish that gratitude journal first. So what's that going to do to your mindset? It's going to put you into like some positive energy, right? Like you're ready to tackle on the day, right? It's an unbelievable thing. Just so you guys are aware, from a mindset standpoint, it literally will make you write down what are 3 things you're grateful for. What are 3 things that would make today great? And then it gives you a daily affirmation. What a way to start off the morning. And then from a cell phone standpoint, you guys can do whatever you want, but this is my tactic that has worked for me to give me peace of mind in the evenings so I can be focused on my family, and also in the mornings so I'm not rushing to react to work emergencies, okay? So I turn off all notifications on my cell phone from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. I don't allow any distractions. I don't check text messages. I don't check emails. So that is the way that I keep myself sane, so I'm ready to tackle on the day and focus on what I need to do. All right, time management. Protecting the money hours. You don't need more time. You just need better boundaries. Raise the hands. How many people you just don't have boundaries, right? You just let everything get in your way of your calendar, right? So your calendar is either your excuse or your advantage. For me, it's my advantage. We're going to go into my calendar in a little bit as well. So I'll break down exactly what it looks like so you guys can see it. So time block everything, you guys. Lead gen, agent calls, strategic follow-ups, tough deals, right? I'm going to go into more detail. I do personal life as well on my calendar, on my work calendar. So it's in there every single day. Time blocking and environmental control. Time block, busy work. Tuesday updates, email responses, theme days, right? James Clear says you don't have to be the victim of your environment. You can also be the architect of it. Less wiggle room equals more follow through. So in our world, that's white space on the calendar. Like how many of us, if I were to ask you guys to see your calendar, is way too much white space? Yeah. White space in our world is considered the devil, right? It gets you into trouble. It gets you into doing non-sales related activity. So for me, once you see my calendar, I try to have as little white room as possible on my calendar. So I protect my day like I protect my family, because that's ultimately who I'm doing this for. All right, way I start off every day after I've done my gratitude journal, after I've met with my loan partner to review files that we have in the system. This is what I used to do with my team when I had a team. It's also what I do with myself. Okay, so just because you don't have a team doesn't mean you can't have an agenda to follow every single day. Because guess what? Even if you have a team member, what happens to team members? They get sick, they have emergencies, they need vacations. So in the end, guess who has to do it anyway? You, right? So for me, I'm like, hey, I still want to be in control. So this is what I do. I start off every team meeting with myself talking about today's wins and yesterday's wins. I review lessons learned, whether that was a client interaction, realtor problems, any feedback I can give myself, and reviews. I go over my greatness tracker. Am I on target to hit my lead goal? Am I on target to have open escrows? Am I on target to have my face-to-face meetings? The greatness tracker, this is the most important form you should always have on your calendar or on your desk, okay? It's literally your journal of what, it's a predictive analysis of what your business is going to look like 1 to 2 to 3 months from now. Okay, so the greatness tracker is super, super important. I want to make sure that's always dialed in. When I have my team meeting or when I do it with myself, I talk about, okay, what leads are important that have to get contacted today? Any pre-apps that I need to be involved with? Any new escrows that I know an agent has told me that I've got coming in? Any client calls that for sure need to happen, right? And then if you do have a team member, you're going to review yesterday's to-do list as well as review birthdays for today that you need to call. And then the one question I'm always asking on all of my loans is not, are we going to hit the close of escrow date, is, are we going to hit the loan removal contingency date? Because that's really, in the end, what all agents care about, is they want to know that we're on target to remove that so they can release contingencies. And then if you do have a team member or working on it, get them involved with gratitude as well. I bought all my team members the 5-minute journal. You can also just ask them what they're grateful for, right? Have your team invested and motivated into starting off their day off right as well. And just like with anything, I always ask them, based upon their capacity on things that they have to do that day, what's their capacity? Is it 1 to 10, right? If it's a 3, I'm giving them more things to do. If it's not, I got to be very mindful and respectful of that. And then have a team affirmation of the day as well. All right, follow the calendar like it's the law. Your calendar is the boss. If it's not on there, it doesn't happen. Pre-block your entire week. Calls, pre-approvals, gratitude texts, even lunch. Use a color-coded calendar. Don't go more than 3. More than 3 just kind of looks like a rainbow. It's very, very confusing. So keep it simple. Green for me is income producing. Red is admin and D&D. And blue is meetings and personal time. Put your theme days on every single day of the week. So Mondays, you have your top 20 to 40 realtors. Tuesday, you have your updates and agent touches. Wednesday, you have your pre-approvals and TBDs. Thursday is your past clients. And Friday, your leads and VIPs. All right, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Oh, all right. So when I'm teeing up my calendar, what's something that you guys see right off the bat? I'll open it up for discussion. What's something that you see? What stands out?
There's no white space.
There's no white space. What else?
You even have driving to work on there.
I do. What else do you see?
I see 4 o'clock, Mark. 4 o'clock.
What about 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock, getting up.
Oh, there you go. Yes, 4 a.m. Thank you. I was looking down below at 4 p.m. Yes, getting up. I literally am telling myself, wake up at 4:30. It's actually 4:25 right now. I bought myself 5 more minutes because I just needed it. What else? What else do you see?
You have your personal time, you have everything color coded. And it's very specific.
Yeah. The more specific you are dialed in, the more disciplined you are to your calendar, the more freedom you're going to have. The other thing too is every day, if you're looking at your calendar, you should have at least 50% or more green. Do you think that looking at my calendar from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I have 50% or more green? Yeah. So I know exactly when my consultation appointments are going to be slated for, right? I've got a 2:30 to 3 o'clock. I have a 3 o'clock to a 4 o'clock. I've got a 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I don't do more than 3 appointments per day unless things are crazy and I absolutely need to fit one in. It keeps me sane. It keeps me at peace. And it keeps me more in control because then I have other time to do my other things that I need to do. Do I have a time slot for my thank you cards? Do I have a spot when I can return emails and messages? Cool. So when I first started this calendar, and I'm going to have you guys do this as well, I start off with personal time. So right off the bat, I told myself when I was going to wake up and when I was going to come into work. So what I want you all to do right now, let's be interactive. Everyone open up your calendars, set a recurring appointment starting tomorrow as to 2 things: when you're going to come into work every single day and when you're going to leave and be at home. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that. When you're going to go into work and when you're going to be home.
What did you categorize blue and red as again?
Yeah, so blue's red is D&D. It's a do not disturb. I don't know why the be at home is red, but I mean that's basically like, hey, I need to be at home by 6 o'clock. That was an agreement that I made with my family. The blue, the like dark blue up here, that automatically just put it in as dark blue. That's my personal, like my personal life. You can decide whatever you want on that. Cool. Next thing, what I want you guys to do is time slot when you want your appointments to be for consultations. And only give yourself 3 time frames per day. And it's going to be a recurring time frame forever. Let's see, who do I have? Who can I call? I'm going to call on Michael Hill. Was that easy for you to do? And what are the 3 time frames that you gave yourself every day for appointments?
So no, sir, it's not very easy to do. It's not too hard. But the 3 times that I gave myself were 1 o'clock, 2:30, and 4.
Perfect. Awesome.
I have a question for you though. Why
Yeah.
do you have a consultation for 30 minutes? And what's the difference between your consultation for 30 minutes and the other one for an hour?
Good catch. Awesome. Richie, you were an ex-student of mine. What was my reason for that one?
It depends on the urgency. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent the buyer is to the transaction.
Yeah. To be more specific, again, great catch, Michael, is when refinances were really popular and there was a lot of them, I don't invest an hour-long appointment into a refinance. You should be able to get those done within 15 to 20 minutes. So that 2:30 to 3 time slot is for refinances only. Right? Or if I have a client who's been a TBD or a pre-approval for a while, and it's been past 2 or 3 months and I need to refresh that, that's when I'll throw them in for a refresher appointment. Okay, new consultations should last an hour long.
Thank you.
Good question. All right, now I don't know how to go back. Hold on. Now I'm stuck.
Mark, I
Right here.
noticed that you don't
Yeah.
have anything for like callbacks on, like you said, let's say you get a lead. Where is your callback time?
Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of here. Can I move you over here? Okay. Can you guys still see my screen over here?
Yep. No,
Okay,
you're
awesome.
good.
Cool. So I put that down here after my pipeline meeting. Where is it? After my pipeline meeting and right before 9 a.m., that's basically my callback time. Also right here from 1:30 to 2, my emails and messages returned. That's also my callback time for clients. And then right here at 5 o'clock is my emails and messages returned. That's also my callback time for clients.
Okay. So if you, let's say I always get those, can you call them now? So
Yeah.
I will, I'll text them and let them know when is a good time to call. And would I just fill in one of those, my time blocks of my consultation time?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can always text just like you did, right? That's how I respond to every lead, right? I have a little intro. It's like what is that text replacement where I've already got my pre-populated verbiage that I send out to every lead, right? Along with acknowledging the referring partner. I ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent is this? If they say it's an 8 or 10, it's going to be on another slide I'm going to talk about. Then I'm saying, hey, I've got capacity today at this time or this time. So absolutely. Cool. Let me get through the rest of my slides and then we'll open up for some further Q&A, okay? All right, this is big.
I had a question about the calendar real quick.
Yeah, who's that?
So I didn't notice any realtor meetings on there. Do you do those during the professional mortgage consultation, or when are you scheduling those?
Yeah, it's the same time, right?
So, okay.
2:30 to
So those are
3, 4 o'clock.
any of the meetings you're going to do. Okay.
Yep. So obviously in a perfect world, I'd love to have all of those time slots filled up with consultations. It means you just have a really healthy, good business, but that's not going to be the case, right? In all honesty, I might have like maybe 2 or 3 days where all 3 of those time slots are filled up. So what I do is I replace them with realtor appointments. Great question.
Hey, Mark, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you go to closings? Like, what happens if something comes up that you can't control the timeline of?
Yeah.
Because you got everything booked out, right?
Yes.
And that's where I struggle is when I do that, I have no open space for things that I don't control.
Yeah, that's a great question, Chad. I mean, honestly, like those signings are really unexpected as well. So I do my best to be at every signing if I can. Thankfully for me, I have title companies that are very close by. So the furthest I have to drive is like 15 minutes. So if I need to push a client and just say, hey, I had a signing pop up, they totally understand. I'll push that consultation earlier or after. Yep.
Got it. Thanks, man.
Yep. All right. The power of saying no. Man, how hard is it to say no, right? Like I was a total yes man at the beginning of my career, and that got me in so much trouble, right? Like I was a mess, you guys. Before coaching, no accountability, no forms, not counting my money. Like it was just an absolute mess. I was answering phone calls in the morning, responding to messages at like 11 o'clock at night. I wasn't going to bed on time. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible, right? So obviously, besides the mindset, besides now the systems and processes I have in place, but the power of saying no has been one of the best things for me to like really give me back my freedom. All right. So Jocko Willink says discipline equals freedom. And it's so, so true. Your calendar, again, is either your excuse or your advantage. So you don't need to do more. You just need to protect what matters. So say no to time vampires. That file can wait. Right? We have this. We feel like we need to jump on things right away whenever an emergency happens, and it's not the case, right? There's our ops, there's our loan managers. A lot of them can take care of these fires, but we feel like we got to be the hero all the time and like step in and drop everything else that we're doing. I've learned to just say no. I've learned to trust my ops team. I've learned to trust my loan manager to say, I know you can handle it. Let me know if you go through 1, 2, 3 steps and you still can't figure it out. And then what do? I put them on my calendar, right? Hey, by the way, I've got a time slot at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Let's review the file then. It's not drop everything and handle the fire. Okay. Also, not every agent deserves your time. Guard your energy like your rate lock desk. Remember that every yes to a $5 task is a no to a $5,000 opportunity. That's been absolutely huge for me. So James Clear says it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress. Every no I give today is a yes I can give to my family tonight. Being selective isn't selfish. It's how you stay sane in this business. So I'm super, super selective on who I say yes to and what I say no to. All right, so setting boundaries and urgency conversations, right? Richie kind of touched on it before. I'm always asking a lead, right? Because obviously when we get something from a realtor, it's always a hard 10. It's always, oh my God, they're gonna look at a house like literally in the next hour, right? Every now and then you'll have that. That's like a unicorn. But really, once you ask them this question on a scale of 1 to 10, how urgent is this? More often than not, it's not a fire that has to be handled that day. But if it's an 8 to 10, I'm definitely going to treat them and I'm going to prioritize them. And that's where, again, knowing the spaces that I have in my calendar to put them into, I will always give them 2 options, right? Perfect. You're a 9. I'm going to treat you like a 9. Let me see what I have available. Let me call you back. Not right away. Oh my God, yeah, I can meet with you at 10 o'clock. Like you guys have to have perceived value, right? Which is, hey, let me look at my calendar. I call them back within a couple minutes and say, you know what? I've got a time slot at 2:30 or 3:30. Which one works best for you? You said you're a hard 9, right? I'm going to take care of you. When answering calls or when I have outgoing calls, because I have limited time throughout my day to get all my calls done, I will always say, I have 10 minutes before my next appointment. So I'm setting expectations because if they all of a sudden start to run long, which a lot of people tend to do, I will remind them, hey, by the way, remember I told you I have 10 minutes? I've got 2 minutes left. If you need to go longer than that, I'm here for you. Why don't we set up a video appointment? I've got a time slot at 2:30 or 3:30. I'll spend some extra time with you and we can talk this out. That gives me one more face-to-face, right? So I'm always looking to leverage opportunities. If people are going long, I'm like, perfect, that's awesome. Let's get you on my calendar so I can fill up my greatest tracker and get some more face-to-faces. Okay? Boundaries protect your productivity and your peace.
Hey, Mark,
Yes.
there's a question.
Cool.
How far in advance do applicants have to book in order to get on your calendar?
It's a great question. I will always tell them that I will work as quickly as they'll let me. So if I have a client who tells me they're 9, and I'm like, hey, I need an application in my system. If I'm going to get you in to meet with me, like same day or next day, do I have your commitment on that? I'll work as quickly as 1 day or 2 days. But if they have not provided an application, nor have they provided some sort of proof of either income or assets, I'm not meeting with them. So I protect my time, I set the boundaries, and if they're not willing to follow my process, then they're not willing to follow my process. But I'm not going to bend on that. That's one of my non-negotiables. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you.
Yep. Where I'm at. Okay, rinse and repeat. That's all it is. Production isn't a sprint, it's a system. Pre-plan your calendar, stick to daily team meetings, honor your schedule, and stick to your non-negotiables. James Clear says it's simple, you get what you repeat. This isn't magic, you guys, it's just boring consistency, but boring pays well. So my non-negotiables, 20 calls per day. 3 face-to-face meetings per day. I print my calendar daily. I can't see you guys, right? And I have my complete birthday call sheet. All right, so not only do I have everyone that I'm calling for their birthday, but obviously we have a system that if you put in the referring partner, I go through and I find out who the referring partner is. So then that gives me a reason to also call the referring partner. And it could be a couple years that I haven't worked with them. It could be an agent that I work with all the time. But either way, I let the referring partner know that it's our client's birthday. Sometimes it gives us an opportunity to talk, to bond. Oh, cancel. You guys still there?
Yep.
Yep, we
Oh,
can
right
see
on.
it.
Anyway, it gives you an opportunity to get way more contacts, right? Which is why my greatness tracker is always filled out, because I not only call the birthday person, I call the referring partner, and then who knows if that could turn into an opportunity for another deal. All right, last one. Cool. You can't outsource ownership. The secret isn't a loan partner, it's you. Calendar over chaos, clarity over clutter. No one's coming to save your pipeline. That's your job, and that's good news. Cool. Let's open up for Q&A.
Yeah, Mark, I have a question about on a scale of 1 to 10, that question you were going into.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes I get caught in the idea of like if I say, you know, can I address this to you later, that they're just gonna go find somebody else and I'll lose the deal. Can you kind of talk to that in terms of that mindset about protecting yourself, but also not thinking that everything is an emergency and you'll lose the deal if you don't do it right
Yeah.
now?
Has that ever happened to you?
Only once.
So you're taking one experience that has happened to you and however long you've been doing this, and you're basically saying that it's going to be something, you're creating a fear, a perception that it's going to be reality, right? So perception is reality. So what you got to do is just change your mindset about that, right? It's owning your calendar. It's owning your value, right? If somebody can't see that that's super important, right? Like if somebody gives me like they're an 8 or 9, I'm on it. I'm taking them seriously, right? But if somebody gives me like a 7, 6, or 5, I'm like, hey, I can tell that that's not something that you really want to get going on right away. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. So I still want to take care of you. Obviously, you refer to me by X. How about tomorrow or Thursday instead of today that we take care of you? Does that work better for you? Now, they will then go back. If somehow they go, oh, change of tune. Hey, you know what? Thursday's actually going to be too late. I want to go see a house tomorrow. I'm like, oh, well, then you're actually an 8 or 9. So I put it back on them. that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Is that
Thank you.
helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else? Do we have any more questions?
Mark,
Hey, Mark. Come on. Yeah.
so when you're non-negotiables, one of them is see 3 people a day.
Yeah.
What is your cutoff time? Like, oh crud, I've only seen 2 people today. What is your, like, how do you
Go
pivot?
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. So the best way to do that is you can use this either every Friday, right, before the next week, and pre-plan out your greatness tracker, right? So the easiest things to do is you can definitely fill out what your next week's going to look like, right? Because you already have your appointments time blocked, you already have your realtor appointments, you have your masterminds, you have your face-to-faces, right? So that's already done for me come Monday when I come in. So in the morning, right when I start, if I know I only have 2 for Monday, I'm already in the like attack mode of like, I got to get 1 more. So I'm not leaving it till 4 or 5 o'clock to just be like, oh man, I need to get 1 more. That's when I'm tackling it in the morning. That makes sense? Cool. Now let's say that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is filled up, but my Thursday and Friday is like 1 and 1. Like I'm not attacking that on Wednesday. I'm not procrastinating about it, is what I'm trying to tell you, right? I'm pre-planning way ahead. So I'm already working on that Monday to try and fill up my Thursday and Friday. Cool. Awesome. Great question. Any other questions?
Do you have a script that you follow for the birthday calls in terms of what your outcome is for those calls?
You know what? I do not. I do not. I just kind of, I wing it. A lot of times it's people that, one, I've forgotten about. So then it's just a standard, hey, thinking about you, wishing you happy birthday. But if it's people that I have some sort of relationship or rapport with, sometimes I'll go an extra step where if they don't pick up, I'm doing either a voice memo text so they can hear my voice, or I'll do a personalized video message, which is way more impactful.
So is your goal not to just talk business and you're just wishing them a happy birthday to be point of contact? Just Okay.
Yeah. And just like you, there's been a couple times in the past where I get a call from a client and they're like, hey, we're ready to do something. I'm like, cool. Well, what brought you back? You're the only guy that calls me on my birthday. I'm like, okay, that's reassurance. That's it. Sometimes people just want to feel special, right? And cared about and thought about, and it works.
You get that list emailed to you from Salesforce every day?
Yeah. Does everyone, Lacey, Richie, you guys all get that every morning, right? From Surefire?
I do not. Oh, yeah. I do get that. Yes.
Yep. I don't think I've ever asked marketing or I've triggered something in Surefire to give it to me. I think it just automatically comes to you. It should. If not, I would definitely reach out to marketing and have them change your settings so you're receiving it all the time.
Yeah, it's not automatic. I don't get it.
Okay. Yeah, reach out to marketing for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Was this helpful, you guys?
Yeah.
All right. Brian, give me one thing for sure you're going to do.
Gonna tighten up my calendar, get rid of the white spots.
Cool. Be more specific.
Middle of my day with calls, scheduling my calls, and then my appointment slots.
Awesome. I love that. Lindsay, what's one thing you're going to do for sure?
I am going to schedule my mortgage consultations and then really, try to lean into my calendar and have less white.
Love it. John, what are you going to do?
See 3 people a day. That's been my goal, but the pre-planning part I think helps.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Preparation equals confidence. It's definitely there. Grace, what are you going to do?
I've been using a day timer, so I'm actually going to embrace this calendar that you showed and figure out how to do it and get it done.
Awesome. I love that.
I did have
Yeah.
a quick question. You mentioned that you will not meet with a client until they've completed a loan application, and I've always been of the mindset that you should complete the loan application with them in person. What's your thought about that?
Yeah, I definitely started off that way. right? Don't get me wrong. Right now, I know exactly what I need to do, so this process works for me, right? If you definitely feel like you need to take the application in person to knock off a face-to-face, to build some rapport, I'm encouraging that. Okay, you can definitely do that. What I found though is more often than not, I would spend 30, 45 minutes doing an application with a client. And then when I finally get to the credit part, either one, they don't want to, which is what? A complete waste of time for me, right? 30 to 45 minutes. I'm like, man, you weren't serious to begin with, right? Or two, I pull their credit and guess what? They're like 450, right? Or 500. I'm like, man, now I got to go into credit repair mode, right? So I don't play that game anymore. I've just gotten to the point where I need app and credit before I will consult with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
If their credit is really low and they're like just not going to do anything, will you then do a phone conversation instead of face to face?
Yep. And where's that going to go on my calendar? What time slot? My shortest time slot at 2:30.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, because you want to give value to the referring partner as well, right? You don't just want to brush them off. You want to tell them, hey, I actually met with the client. I went over some credit repairs. This is what they're going to work on, right? But I don't spend a ton of time on it. Good question. Linda, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna do a similar thing, starting my day with no phones because that's a real distraction. And starting with I'm gonna go get my journal and do like a little gratitude thing. I think that's it. I think I really need to do that so I can start my day on a more positive note instead of feeling overwhelmed by emails and phone calls and everything.
Yes, I love that. Good job. I love that. What about you, Lacey? What are you going to do?
So my calendar has been pretty good because I've been your student before. But I need to, I feel like, come back to this quarterly and make updates to my calendar.
Yeah.
Because it gets to a point where something's going on in your life and you have some time block on there that doesn't occur anymore. And I haven't changed it. So
yeah. So you're going to refresh it for sure. I love that. Right on. Richie, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate to be a student of yours, and I can say that I've implemented a lot of your time blocking, and it's removed a lot of the chaos because my day ran me. So two new things that I picked up today I'm going to commit to was the 5-minute gratitude. Like I need to get the 5-minute journal and I need to get after that. Like that's a mindset thing that I need to have for growth. And then I need to turn the notifications off after 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like, and I found more peace in doing exactly what you said for sure. And I can tell with my the production results as you've seen, there's lift by executing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that for you. Good job. All right, Jeff, what are you going to do? You on?
Hey, I'm here, Mark. Great stuff. I'm in the car on a big road trip, but I'm taking notes copiously. I got better at the time blocking, but I'm still not honoring it and printing it. So I'm getting progress, right? Awesome. The time slots for consultations, if I have those marked out, I'll be more conscious about trying to give people those times. So definitely, and instead of being like, when's good for you, just really, hey, these are the time slots, which is best for you. So
yes, thank you.
I can see the value in that. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst question you can ever ask a client. What time works best for you? Please don't do that. Change that verbiage, right? Be in control. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself for failure because they're going to give you every time slot that you don't want to meet at, right? Cool. Michael, you have a question?
Cool. Yes, sir. So, and it's along the lines of time slots to meet with applicants. So what happens when you have somebody who works at night, they're asleep during the day, or for whatever reason, they just think that it's impossible to meet during your time slots. For example, I saw that your loan consultations are in the afternoon. If you have somebody who says, hey, I need to meet in the morning, between 9 and 12, I'm not free at this time. What do you do for that? What's your pushback? Or
yeah,
what do you
thank
say?
you for that. That's a great question. I didn't touch on that. So you always have 2 exceptions per week, right? There's one day that you give yourself for a morning appointment. And that's up to you. It could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? That's totally up to you. Mine is at 10:30 a.m. on Thursdays. Okay. Then I have one evening exception per week. That is on Tuesdays. Okay. So what I've done is I have an agreement with my spouse and my girls that I will always be home by 6 o'clock. That's a non-negotiable for me. Right. But I also have asked them to give me a little bit of grace where if I do need to meet with a client after hours, it's just absolutely impossible. That's the only time they can do it. I tell them, you got to make it special. Michael, I have one evening away from my family that I can commit to meeting with you. It's on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Never do 7 or 8 o'clock. You will be miserable being at the office or working on a file until 9 o'clock at night. Okay. You got to give yourself the sanity. So it's one evening, make it special. Do you want it? It's like 6 o'clock. I've never had somebody turn it down, and I've only ever had to do it twice ever since I made this commitment to my spouse and my girls in like 4 years. Cool.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great question.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love that.
Awesome. Anything else? Cool. This was good. I appreciate y'all being on here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you guys. If you need me for anything outside of this, I'm an email or call away. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.